Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Salim Niaz. I have a YouTube channel by the name of Sal Zone. I make many types of videos on sports, on nature, on weight loss, on various products which help in weight loss and other stuff. But most of my videos are on sports. The two sports I concentrate on are tennis and cricket. So I'm a big fan of tennis and cricket. Cricket is basically a British sport. It's hardly played in the US, but it is played in the US. I was in my tennis and cricket school and college teams, so I have a passion for these two sports. I make videos about these two. So today I'm going to be making a video on tennis regarding the upcoming Australian Open and some stats which I'm going to share with you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So let's go. So I'm on the website here called atptour.com. It's the ATP web tour website. As you can see, the main image is of Andy Murray. He's a player from Great Britain. He used to be very good about 2 or 3 years ago. Then he had some injuries and he had to take time off. I think he's won two Grand Slams, but now he's trying to come back. He fights very hard. He's got a big heart. He fights very hard. Here you see he's in the Sydney final. It's the pre-warm up to the Australian Open, which starts on Monday. Today is Saturday. The Australian Open starts on Monday. There's the pre-warm up. He's made it to the final, which is hats off to him. So today I'm going to be telling you about the upcoming Australian Open, who I think might win, what my prediction is, who I think might take the trophy. So let's go. Okay, let me go to rankings and singles. So regarding the upcoming Australian Open, I think basically four players have a chance to win the Australian Open. Four players. Number one, Novak Djokovic from Serbia. He's 34 years old. Number two, Daniel Medvedev from Russia. He's 25 years old. Number three, Alexander Zagrev from Germany. He's 24 years old. And my fourth pick is Rafael Nadal from Spain. He's 35 years old. So, in my own personal opinion, I think one of these four is going to lift the trophy 2 weeks Sunday from today when the Australian Open men's crown champion is crowned. One of these four. Now, I do want to tell you there is a problem with Djokovic. Apparently, he didn't get vaccinated before going to Australia, so they are holding him in detention. He's in detention. I don't know if he'll be allowed to play or deported back to uh, Serbia. Uh, he has a hearing today on Saturday. He has a hearing. The judge will decide. I don't know what his fate is going to be, if he's allowed to play or not. If he doesn't play, then it will clear up the path for Medvedev, Zagreb, and Nadal. But he might be playing, so we won't know until Sunday, I think, what's going to happen. But Djokovic is supposed to play on Monday in the first round. So this is my opinion. Djokovic is 34 years old and Nadal is 35 years old. Both of them hold the record for the most slams, which is I think 20. So if either one of these two wins the Australian Open, they'll hold the sole record for the most number of slams. If either one of them wins the Australian Open, which will be 21. So let me show you around this website. Let me take you to some stats. Let's go to the win-loss first to start off the stats. As you can see, this is the performance for the past 52 weeks, which is 1 year. As you can see, Novak Djokovic is leading. He's from Serbia. He's leading. He's got 5 titles in the past 1 year, and he's got 55 wins and 7 losses for the win loss. So he's number one. and his 52-week index is at 0.887. So he's number one. Number two is Rafael Nadal from Spain. He's got 27 wins and 5 losses. As you can see, he's played few tournaments because he got injured about 3 or 4 months ago and he was sidelined. So it's few matches, but still he's got 3 titles. Then there's Medvedev. He's number three. He's played a lot. He's got 66 wins and 14 losses. He's got 4 titles. Then there's Zagreb, my other pick for the Australian Open. He's got 6 titles. He's got 61 wins and 16 losses. He's got 6 titles and his 52-week index is at 0.792. So this is the performance for the last 1 year and their 52-week indexes. Now let's look at some other stats. Let's see what's on this page. Okay, this is the best servers in the game of tennis. So as you can see, Ivo Karlovic, his service percentage is 92%, and games won is 8,845. So percentage wise, he's the best server in the game of tennis and the fastest server, followed by John Isner. Isner is from USA. I've been watching him for quite some time now. His serve is really unbreakable. It's very hard to break Isner. Also, it's very hard to break Karlovic. Both of them can't. Very hard to break their serve. So Isner is number two. He's got 9,321 games won, and total games is this much. Matches, he's got more matches than Karlovic. And then there's Ronic. He's from Canada. His service percentage is at 91.16, just short of Isner. And then there's Roger Federer. Federer was one of the best players about 5 or 6 years ago. In his time, he was one of the greatest players. He held the record for the most Grand Slams before it was overtaken by Nadal and Djokovic. So in his time, he's got many, many records. He was a brilliant player, a complete genius at the game of tennis. Anyway, now he's 40 years old. His ranking has dropped, so he's really fallen off. Okay, let's look at some other stuff. Let's look at some scores. So I'm at scores and ATP Tour. So this is the pre-warm-up tournament to the Australian Open, the Adelaide International 2. It's played in Australia, in Adelaide, Australia. As you can see, this player Marin Cilic, he's got one slam to his name many years ago. He lost in the semi-finals, and then I don't see any other name. Here we are talking about Isner. He lost in the round of 16. And as you can see the scores, it's all tie breaks. I was telling you it's very hard to break him. So as you can see, he lost in all tie breaks because he was not broken. So all the 3 sets went to a tie break. Anyway, let's look at some other stats. Let's look at tournaments, ATP finals. This is Zagreb. He won 2021 year-ending ATP year-end championship. I think he beat Medvedev, but I'm not fully sure. That's one of the reasons I pick him to be one of the contenders for the Australian Open. He's a great player. He's got a great game. As you can see, he's holding the trophy for the year-ending ATP year-end in 2021. So that's what he won. Okay, let's look at some other players or tournaments. Let's look at some stats. Performance zone, serve track, leaderboards, performance zone. Let's look at performance zone. So this is the performance after winning the first set from all countries, which means after the player wins the first set, he wins the match. So in this category, Rafael Nadal is leading. After he's won the first set and he's won the match, he's got a record of 912 to 48, which means 912 wins and only 48 losses after he's won the first set. He's leading. Followed by Bjorn Borg. Borg used to play about 40, 45 years ago. In his time, he was like Roger Federer, a genius at the game, but he's number two. Then there's Murray. I was just talking about Andy Murray. He's in the pre warm up. He's reached the final. He's fighting hard. He's number three. And then, of course, the great Roger Federer. I was just telling you about in his time, he was the greatest. He's at number four. On this side, there are some others, but this is very old, more than 50, 60 years old. So these players played about 60, 70 years ago, and it's a very old performance, but they have it here. Okay. Let's look at something else. Win loss, I think we covered. Let me see. Yeah, this we covered. Rankings we covered. Let's look at the rankings for the doubles. There's also a doubles in the world of ATP, men's tennis. So let's see who's number one in doubles. Okay, it's these two players from which country are they from? From Russia, I think. They are number one in doubles, and then it's Rajeev Ram and anyway, doubles. I really don't follow too much doubles. I just follow the singles matches, so I really don't follow too much doubles. So let's look at some other stats. Number ones. Let's look at number ones. So this is the list of players who finished the year as ranked number one in the world. As you can see, back in 2003, it was Andy Roddick. He won the 2003 US Open, which is the last slam of the year, and he was ranked number one in 2003. I remember watching that match. He was playing, I don't remember, but he won the match and he was ranked number one, and it was amazing, amazing match. Then there's Pete Sampras. He was ranked number one in 1997, more than 20 years ago. Sampras was a genius at his own game. He was one of the best to have ever played. He held the record for the most slams before it was overtaken by here Roger Federer. As you can see, Roger Federer was ranked in number one at the end of 2009, 2004, 2007, 2006, 2005. So he's got a lot of number one year end number one rankings. So has Novak Djokovic. In fact, as you can see, Djokovic has also overtaken Federer in the year end number one rankings. One, two, three, four, five, six. I think Djokovic has the record. Seven, seven year-end number one rankings. I think Djokovic has the record, but I'm not sure. It was earlier. It was held by Federer as the most number one ranked player. Number of times ranked number one at the end of the year. Now I think the record is with Djokovic. So guys, this was just a brief video on who I think might win the Australian Open. So it's one of those four. I think it's my prediction. One of those four will win the Australian Open. Other than that, I don't think there's anyone to seriously challenge them. Nadal, Djokovic, uh, Zagreb, and Medvedev. So I don't. One of these four is going to be holding the trophy on Sunday, 2 weeks from now. That's my prediction. I'll keep you updated as we go on. I'll keep making videos on the day to day progress in the Australian Open, what's happening, the results, any of my predictions, how the players are performing. I'll keep updating you. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll keep making more videos. I'll also be making some videos on cricket. That is for if you're interested in cricket. So thanks for watching this video and I hope you liked it. Okay, great. Cheers.